Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another beautiful makeup tutorial. I'm just going to show you guys how I was able to achieve this graduation party makeup. I'm here with my client and she asked me to make her makeup glow. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome. For all subscribers, thank you guys for coming to watch my videos. I love you guys so much. So the first thing I did was to moisturize her face to reduce the harshness on her face, just to make everything soft and smooth. And I went in with Cetaphil moisturizer. Thereafter, I went in with Meron Skin Prep, and I've been using this for quite some time, and it has really been doing the magic. It just makes the whole makeup last, and I think I got this for 8,000 naira about 2 years ago. So after doing that, I went in with Zaron Skin Prep, and I've also been using this for quite some time. The products that I'm using in this video are basically the ones that I've been using in my previous videos, so I know you're going to catch up and follow up. So I went in with this skin prep basically on her T-zone areas, just to enable the makeup last for a long time. So at this point, I'm applying foundation, and I went in with Zikel foundation. I'm going to place the shades in the notification box so that you guys can know the shades that I used. So I'm just going to blend everything well so that it sits properly and so that it looks like her skin basically, but also so that the whole makeup pops and glows. So from what you can see in this video, I'm basically just dapping the foundation into her skin. I am not dragging it, but I'm just dapping it into her skin so that it sits well, and so that everything comes out really nice. So I'm just doing a full coverage on her face. Make sure that there is no skin showing on her face. You understand what I mean? So for her contour, I'm going in with a darker shade of foundation. Like I said, I'm just going to drop the shades and the products that I used in the notification box so that you guys can see. So I'm just going to spread that across her forehead by the side and also on her cheekbone, and then dab the foundation into her skin so that it sits properly and so that it comes out nice. So at this point, you want to make sure that you blend properly so that everything comes out nice and beautiful. So after doing that, I'm just going to go in with a liquid blush, and I'm using this classic liquid lip stain on her cheekbone, on this part right here, and then I'm just going to blend everything so that it sits well and so that it comes out nice. Like I said, blending is key, so you need to take your time to blend properly so that everything comes out really nice and smooth. Don't forget the smooth aspect of the makeup. Everything needs to look smooth from afar and also when you come close. So I'm done blending at this point, and right now I'm going in with a liquid concealer, and this concealer is from Classic Cosmetics, and I'm applying this basically on her T-zone areas, so underneath her eyes, her jaw, her forehead, the middle of her nose, just to get a pointed effect, and also just beneath her nose right there, as you can see from the video. So I'm going to go in with a darker shade of foundation, the shade that is in that of her skin tone, which is the first layer of foundation that I used. I'm just going to go in like this way so that when I'm blending in, everything just sits properly. When you're blending, you don't want to create harsh lines here and there. So when you use a shade that is in that of our skin tone and a lighter shade, everything just sits properly when you blend. I hope and I believe that that is properly understood. So you could actually blend the darker shade of the foundation first, or the concealer that you're using first, before blending the lighter shade, or you could just do everything together. As long as you know how to blend properly, everything will still come out nice and smooth. So the lighter shade of concealer that I used is about 2 to 3 tones lighter than that of her skin tone, just to highlight that area properly and so that everything pops and glows properly. So at this point, I'm just going to blend the highlight on the middle of her nose. And here is the brush that I'm using. I'm not using a beauty blender at this point. After arranging it with the brush, I'm just going to go in with a beauty blender so that everything sits properly. And then for the contour on her nose, I'm going in with a darker shade of concealer, and I'm just going to conceal that part of her nose. You could actually use a foundation or a concealer, whatever works for you. It still comes out almost about the same way. So I'm just going to blend everything properly at this point so that it looks really nice. So I'm basically using the beauty blender to blend so that everything comes out fine. So I discovered that contour was too dark, so I went in with her shade of foundation, which is the first layer of foundation that I used before, so that it reduces those harsh lines, the darkness at the contour area. So I just blended it properly and it came out better. So I'm just going to apply powder on her T-zone areas mostly, and then just spread across her face. And this powder that I'm using is from My Cheek Powder Cosmetics. I'm just going to apply it. This powder is actually amazing. It just brings out that beautiful matte effect that you want. So I'm just going to apply the powder like this, just so that it reduces the heat, the sweat coming out from her skin. So that is it basically. So apply your powder before going in with setting powder. It works all the time. Like, it works almost perfectly all the time. Still from this powder palette, I'm going to go in with a lighter shade of powder in the inner corners of her eyes. I'm just going to go in with a lighter shade, and then also use a setting powder to set underneath her cheekbones and also on her T-zone areas. Yeah, so I'm using the setting powder, and it's from Sacha Buttercup, and I've been using this for quite some time too. Like I said, if you check my previous videos, you're going to discover that the products that I'm using at this point is basically almost about the same product that I've been using. I've just made a little changes here and there. So these products have been working for me, and they have been looking like they've been coming out really nice. So that's it, guys. I've been sticking to them. So I'm just going to also apply this setting powder at the middle of her nose and basically on the highlight areas, the T-zone areas. So I'm setting her face using Sacha Buttercup setting powder again, and I'm just going to brush the hairs all properly, her brow hairs, so that when I draw the strokes, it will be easier for me. So at this point, I'm just going to use a brow gel, and this is a Carite brow gel. I got this for 500. It's actually in a pack. You get it for 1,000 or 1,500 depending on the area you are. So I got this particular brown one for 500. They have another black one in the pack and it goes for 500 too. So depending on the area you are staying, you could get it for 1,000 or 1,500. It depends actually. So I'm just going to draw light strokes on her brows, and then after doing all of that, I'm going to go ahead and conceal. So draw light strokes just in order for the brows to look more natural. You want to make the brows look really natural. So draw light strokes, draw a thin line underneath the brow and another thin line on top, and then just draw light strokes in the middle of the brow. So at this point, I'm concealing, and I went in with a lighter shade of concealer that is about 2 to 3 tones lighter than her skin tone. And then in the inner corner of her brow, I went in with her shade of foundation. So right now, I'm just blending it so that everything looks clean and smooth and nice in that area. So guys, at this point I'm going to drop the names of eyeshadow palettes that I used so that you guys can see and know, like you can get yours, or you could actually use the shades that are similar with what I used in this video. So the first shade I went in with was a brown shade, an earth color from Zaron Cosmetics, and then after doing that I went in with a purple shade, but this shade isn't from Zaron Cosmetics. This is an old eyeshadow palette that I've been using for quite some time. The name got cleaned off, so I really cannot tell you guys the name that that is on the palette, but you could actually use any purple shade that you have right here. So right now I'm going in with an orange pinkish shade, and this is from Violet Vase eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to blend that on her transition area like this. Just make sure you blend properly and that you are using a very good blending brush. Right now I'm going in with a pink shade of shadow from Violet Vase eyeshadow palette again, and then I'm just going to apply it like this, and then also going to go in with glitter. So I love this particular glitter because whatever shade of eyeshadow you apply on the eye, it just changes into it. Like if I were to apply green and I apply that glitter also, it's just going to automatically change to green. The glitter would automatically change to green, or any color that you apply. So I really love it. It's like a chameleon eyeshadow. It's like a chameleon glitter. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I did on her first lid on the other lid. So I'm just basically repeating the same steps. So right now I'm going to wipe off the setting powder from her face because it has stayed for about 10 minutes, and I'm done with every other thing that I should have done before the next step. So I'm just going to wipe it off. Moving on to the lips, I'm going to use this lip palette from My Cheek Cosmetics, and I'm going in with a purple shade just to shade the outer corners of her lips. I'm going in with this purple shade. Thereafter I'll be going in with a nude shade of Lippy from Classic Cosmetics, and I'm just spreading this across the middle of her lips. And then after doing that, I'm quickly going to ask her to smudge so that everything blends properly. So I'm using an eye primer because it's white and I wanted something, you know, really sharp and nice. I'm using an eye primer because it works. It's not the first time that I've used this. It works, like it brings out the beauty of the lippy more. So I asked her to smudge, and look at how beautiful it came out. Look at how beautiful it looks. So I went in with a transparent lip gloss and everything came out really nice. So at this point I'm going in with this gold shade of eyeshadow from Zaron eyeshadow palette on her highlight area, on her cheekbone right there, just to highlight that area, and then on her forehead and on her jaw, and then at the middle of her nose. After doing that, in order for the makeup to last for a long time, I went in with setting spray, and it is from Conceal. Okay, we're not there yet. I had to apply a little bit of glitter underneath her eyes, and just so that the makeup can pop. You can see how glowy this makeup looks like. It's going to pop throughout the night. So I went in with setting spray from Conceal, and voila, that is it, guys. This is how, look how beautiful the makeup came out. It's actually looking smooth, neat, nice, glowy, poppy, and really beautiful. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. See you all in my next. Bye.